Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to this semi-final debate. The motion of today's debate is, do schools have an obligation to teach about racial inequality? We have two competing sides, Shabele, which are going to agree with the motion, and Audal, which are going to disagree with the motion. Let me call the first person from Shabele, Honorable Salma Abdurrahman Ahmed.
Honorable Chairperson, panel of judges, timekeeper, secretary, my worthy opponents, plus you, the audience, good morning. I, Salma Abdurrahman, firmly standing in front of you to propose the motion, which is, do schools have obligation to teach about racial inequality? First of all, you may ask yourselves, what is racial inequality? Racial inequality is unfair treatment on equal opportunities based on race. What is obligation? It's a strong word which means duty or responsibilities. Now, let me give you this opening statement. A child who is not taught is like a field left unplowed. Schools are not just the places to study science or math, but they are places to sharpen minds and values built. If you want a future that's fair and peaceful, we must start with the children and means teaching them the truth about racial inequality, past and present. Ignoring that responsibility is like planting seeds and refusing to water them. And if you do that, don't expect good fruits from that tree. Now, let me go to my points and outline them just to ease the work of the secretary. First point, prevents racial bullying and its harmful effects. Second point, promotes respect and inclusion. Third point, prepare students for diverse society. Fourth point, corrects historical injustice and builds critical thinking. Now, let me explain the first point. Prevents racial bullying and its harmful effects. Teaching about racial inequality helps students understand what bullying and racism feels like. This awareness allows schools to create safer environments by addressing and reducing racial bullying. Without this education, students who face racial bullying can suffer severe emotional and mental harm, sometimes leading to tragic outcomes. For example, when students learn how racial bullying hurts others, they are less likely to practice it in schools and can intervene earlier. Like there was a school in China whereby a girl was bullied, and then it's reached that extreme whereby she kills herself, and the school didn't talk about. And then when that same incident happened to 10 of the students from that school, finally the managers decided to set a rule whereby if you start bullying others, you will be imprisoned for 2 years. That shows why racial inequality is important in schools. Second point, promote respect and inclusion. Education about racial inequality encourages respect for all races and encourages respect and culture. It helps students to appreciate diversity rather than fear or misunderstand. This is led to more inclusive school culture where every student feels valued and respected. For example, when a student understands different cultural background, they are more likely to include classmates for all races in activities and discussion. Third point, prepare students for diverse society. Society is a multicultural and students will encounter people from various races and ethnic backgrounds. Learning about racial inequality equips them with knowledge and empathy needed to live and work respectfully in diverse communities. So, if students understand racial inequality, they are better prepared to collaborate with people from different backgrounds and in their future jobs and communities. Last point, corrects historical injustice and builds critical thinking. Teaching racial inequality involves comforting and comfortable truths about history, such as slavery and discriminations. This honest education helps students critically examine education critically examine how past injustice affects the present, that encouraging them to challenge unfairness and work for change. For example, if a student, please may you give me 1 moment. Students who learn about historical racial injustice can recognize ongoing inequalities and are motivated to promote fairness. And I would like to conclude by saying injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And this is why schools must teach about racial inequality to protect fairness, respect, and unity for all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Honorable Salma, for giving out your points. So let me call also the first speaker from Audal, Honorable Muhammad Umar Warsame.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Umar, and I would like to appreciate the judges, the timekeeper, the secretary, the audience. I would like to debate about this motion which says the school have an obligation to teach about racial inequality, and I would like to say no. The keywords: school is an institution where formal education takes place. Obligation, a strong word meaning duty or responsibility. Racial inequality, unfair treatment or unequal opportunities based on race. I would like to highlight my points. Core academics should be priority. Responsibility lies with parents and society. Teachers might not be trained or neutral. My fourth point: one size fits all curriculum. I would like to start. Core academics should be priority. Schools are already under pressure to cover essential subjects. Adding racial equality as a required topic could take time from core learning. An example is, in countries like India or Kenya, a student often struggles to meet basic literacy and numeracy standards. Adding more social issues might overwhelm the learner.